Uh, you're 45 feet underground, you can withstand a nuclear 20 kiloton blast. And I, among other feature, among its other features are home theater seats, underground HVAC system, spring system to absorb blast, conference rooms, first aid nurse rooms, a modern commercial kitchen, and a firearms range. 17.5 million dollars. Yours. That was the 50s was a big time for the. Some are still. Look, we got preppers that are still built. There are modern businesses today that build bunkers. Now they're not nuclear bunkers, but they build bunkers for the end of the civilization, basically. Prepper bunkers. There was a program. I don't even remember. I don't remember the name of it. Or Netflix. There was a program about a guy down south somewhere actually built bunkers and built them from scratch. And I guess he converted, the shipping containers. He converted shipping containers into underground, and some of these things were pretty elaborate. I mean, this one of these underground bunkers that he made for this family. Never tell you sometimes the people will put the bunker in their backyard, but most of the time these preppers are putting it out someplace that they can get to really quick, and they don't give the location. But what he made is he made this like 3,000 whatever square foot underground retreat, if you putting together 4 shipping containers and building them all out and making them into, the storage room, bedrooms and bathrooms and blah blah, everything that you could possibly need to survive the zombie apocalypse underground. This thing had it. Even had, in some of the rooms it had the daylight lamps or what have you. There have been underground homes, that have been pretty tall, where they have quote unquote underground outdoor space. They've got fake grass and fake trees and stuff, to make you think. Kind of like the Brady Bunch. Remember the Brady Bunch yard? Well, that's what that. So yeah, it's actually still business around. They just transformed the fear from a nuclear attack from the Soviet Union to zombie apocalypse or something similar to it, to the catastrophe and the total devastation of civilization as we know it, because it'll be some sort of financial calamity. Perry, ever watch the prepper shows? Some of their ideas are pretty good just for modern life, period. Being prepared for, storm outages and things like that, and being, but some of these people they just way overboard. Not just in places like Texas and Arkansas. I mean, these preppers are all over the place. There are preppers that are even in major cities. They're doing whatever they can to be prepared in their apartment in New York or L.A. Some of them have timed how long it would take them to hike from their apartment out of New York City or out of central L.A. and getting into the wilder parts, if you will. Doesn't matter where they live. They're preppers. I'm not going to, I'm not. Of the world as we know it, as long as it's not an alien thing that's trying to What happens if something does happen, but you aren't prepared? I think I would rather be at least somewhat prepared and never have to use those skills or those devices than to be caught with my quote-unquote pants down and not scrambling to survive on a day. Yeah, I've done a little bit of prepping. Not going to lie. I store extra water and certain things. And I have weapons of self-protection and self-preservation. Not going to lie about that. There's nothing wrong with being a little prepared. Look, we've had power outages in New England, and I remember that one time for certain parts in a city, some neighborhoods it lasted for over a week. You should be prepared for at least every human being, especially in this country, has the ability to be 1 to 3 day stay off the grid, if you will. A big deal. It's not highly recommend it that you get yourself prepared for 3 days. Power could go out for 3 days. You want to just make sure that you're well prepared, because if you're well prepared for 3 days, and it looks like it's going to last longer than 3 days, that 3 day cushion is all that you need to make sure that you're. Just look at the Alaska Last Frontier, the Kilcher clan. And they every summer they prepare the last 10 months of winter. They got 2.5 months to live the entire rest of the year. You can do that for 3 days and be prepared for 3 days, and then that'll give you enough to figure out what to do for the next week or month. It's a good start. But right, they can take 3 days and being able to survive a week without any worries. That's a good. Just a little bit of preparedness is all it takes. Just a little bit. You don't got to go overboard. A video has surfaced. A man with a sword goes into an Apple store. New York, Fox 5 New York. There were scary moments as police tackle and arrested a man who went into the flagship Apple store near Central Park with a sword and threatened himself. Now, how do you threaten yourself with a sword? Do you unsheath your sword, hold it to your throat, and say, "I'm going to do it! I'm going to do it! I'm going to cut my head off! I'm going to do it!" Is that what you do? Is that how you threaten yourself? Obviously, the man needs some psychiatric treatment. I don't. How do you threaten yourself with a sword? And can you imagine all these wonderful New Yorkers just trying to scrambling? There's a man with a sword! Oh my God, it's going to be mass murder with a sword! Oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be making fun of these people, but it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. There is a new poll, not a good poll, from the New York Times. It's not necessarily a good poll. New York Times, Poll Watch. Democrats, even Clinton supporters, warm to the idea of socialism. Of course they do. Senator Bernie Sanders' speech on Thursday explaining his democratic socialist ideology carried little risk among supporters and other Democrats. A solid majority of them have a positive impression of socialism. Now, ain't that a pip? Americans have a positive impression of socialism when all their European counterparts that Bernie likes to tout and point to don't like socialism, want to get rid of socialism, or trying to get rid of socialism, or they're in the process of getting rid of socialism. But Bernie says, "Oh yeah, they're one. Look, Denmark and Sweden don't really like socialism because it isn't really working. But Bernie's talking about, oh, yeah, Sweden and Denmark, those are great socialist countries. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. But, you're not going to be able to convince. Well, I've learned you can't convince people of the truth. They don't want to believe the truth. You can't convince them of it. Because they will do everything in their power to resist the truth. I mean, I've argued with people. I've even given them the links and shown them the proof that they were wrong. You just buy all that crap, Rod. It's like some big conspiracy theory. Like I'm participating in it. Yeah, I just made up all this, this proof that what you're saying is wrong, irrelevant, illogical, stupid, ignorant. Yeah, I made up all the facts and figures that go back through time, however long this talking about is supposed to have gone on. I was alive in 1900. I made up all those facts going back. People, they will do the craziest things not to want to stick to what they want to believe because for whatever reason it makes them feel good. Now, for whatever reason, socialism makes these democratic idiots feel good, even though you can point out time after time after time after time in country after country after country after country, even today, where they're trying to move away from socialism because it doesn't work for them. And the left here in this country, they will say, no, that's not true. They love it. They love it. No, the polls say that they hate it. They hate it. No, they love it. They love it. You just don't want them to be true. No. You just don't want to face reality. That's what that's what we got with these Democrats now, and I'm telling you that people, because they're pampered, they're whiny, they're snivelly little brats that have been over-conditioned to believe that they're so special that they deserve everything, and they believe that they should get everything without having to work for it first, without having to earn it. It should be handed to them. It should be given to them because they're so special. I'm telling you, that's what the problem is. And we got to get these stupid little smarmy little snarky little kids to understand that the world doesn't belong to them and them alone. It belongs to everybody. And they've got to earn whatever they want or whatever they get. It's not going to be handed to them. But people who believe in socialism, they think everything should be handed to them, that somebody else should pay for them. Well, if everybody thought that somebody else should pay for them, who's going to pay for all of that stuff? Huh? Who? They don't know. They never knew. Anyway, we are approaching to the point where we are out of time for not only tonight, but for the week. We'll be back here on Monday for a shortened version because Thanksgiving. So have a great weekend. Gobble, gobble. See you here Monday. I'm Rod Eccles. This has been the Rod Eccles Show. And I am out.